back to my YouTube channel. I look slightly busted. My hair isn't really done, so this is how I'm going to be looking for the video unless miraculously I do a jump cut. Today I'm going to be giving you advice on how to apply for college. I now am qualified to do this. I have been accepted to go to, I hope I am not saying this wrong, Oglethorpe University in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and they even gave me a scholarship for it is 88,000 for my 4 years there, and it's 22,000 a year. So slightly a full ride. I'm still gonna look into other scholarships unless I get another one from the school, but very thankful for this opportunity. So I believed myself to now be qualified, and I'm going to be giving you help because I didn't have any help. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on TikTok and Twitter, and we're going to get right started. So to begin, I want to tell you, you don't have to go to college if because I believe most of us don't really know what we want to do with our lives by our senior year or by the time we get to high school. Most people do, but there are a select few that don't really know what they want to do. And don't if you don't know what you want to do with your life, I don't recommend you going ahead and enrolling in college because I don't want you to think, dang, I have to go to college, and then you get a degree and now you're in debt with a degree that you can't even use because now you've decided that you don't want to do that anymore. Also, same with like people of different careers. If your career is something like you want to work in a factory and make canned beans, or you want or you make art and you want to keep selling your art. If you want to do something like that and you aren't required to go to college, I don't think you should go. Like, obviously, if you really want to go, ignore me. Go ahead. But if you do pick a career and your career does not require you to have a college degree in any way, I don't suggest that you get it. Also, if you want to take a gap year, if you want to make any type of decisions about your educational career with you going to college, don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to people in your family that are like, well, I think that you should still go to college. Like, because you have to realize, and I had to realize this too, they're not going to live your life. You have to live your life. They're telling you to go to college, but they're not going to have to deal with the college debt, if you do go in debt, that you're going to have to deal with when you're done. They don't listen. If you want to take a gap year, if you want to do anything with your life, just don't listen to anybody else. Do what you want to do because they're not living your life. You're living your life. Inspirational advice. So I've created a timeline that breaks it down into each grade. Not really the months and stuff when you should be doing this, but more of like a rough timeline of events. So, ninth grade year, you need to take the highest classes that you can possibly manage. So if you were in honors classes in middle school and you felt good about it, take honors classes again. I wouldn't say jump into the AP classes immediately ninth grade unless you are really confident in yourself. But definitely, if you took honors before and you think you'd still do fine in honors, keep taking honors classes. Higher grades on a college application looks very and okay, not so much higher grades, but like higher level classes, more difficult classes. So like For mine, I have a lot of honors in AP, and I had two AP classes, whereas someone else might have had just a lot of honors classes or just regular classes. Taking a more difficult class that you can handle. I don't want to tell you to do an honors class and you're like, well, I didn't do so well, but okay. No, if you didn't do well last year, don't try it again, because honors classes in middle school and honors classes in high school, well, they're both honors. You are going to have a little bit more work and it will be a little bit more difficult, especially if you're not good in that subject. So, like how there's some people that don't do well in math. I hate math. And there's some people that don't do well in English. If you were struggling in honors math or honors English or honors whatever last year, don't go and do honors again. It's because it's not gonna work out. Like, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like how I had I don't really think geometry was honors, but in case it was, I had geometry honors in 8th grade. I did great in that. Got to algebra 2 honors. I was ready to rip my hair out of my skull. And if you think that math is a very easy subject for you, congratulations. I can't stand doing math, which is. I can't. I hate math so much because it doesn't make sense. But anyway, moving on. Still make good grades. Obviously, grades aren't everything, especially because if you're taking a higher class. But you still want to strive to make good grades. Regarding clubs and activities, you should you for your college applications, you're most likely going to be using something called the Common App. And the Common App has a section with activities. So I would suggest you do activities or get into clubs like be in Beta Club, be in National Honor Society, be in Student Council, be in Key Club, Future Business Leaders of America. I talked about this in my school advice, my freshman advice video. I will put it up here. But yeah, like get into clubs. I wouldn't say get into a lot your 9th grade year, maybe one or two, but definitely as the school years, like as you get into higher grades, maybe get into more if you can handle it. Still make good grades, just overall, 9th grade isn't going to be the most difficult year, but this is your first year of high school. You're gonna have some flip flops, some mess ups. It's gonna be okay though. 10th grade, same thing. Highest classes that you think you can do, so honors classes again, if you feel like it. Still clubs and activities, good grades. You need to take the SAT or the ACT or both. I would say if your school has the resources, compare the two tests. Unless you want to take both, compare the two tests to figure out which one you want to do first. I believe the ACT has more math. I think. I'm not sure. I think the ACT has more math. Both of them have a test with an essay and a test without the essay. I actually have my SAT tomorrow, which is why I'm recording now. And I'm doing the SAT without the essay. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Just pick the one that you think will be a good fit for you. Based off of your academic strengths, take the test that you think you best need. Take the PSAT in your 10th grade year. PSAT, practice SAT. It will help you because I'm not sure if they're around the same time, but it's still good practice for when you do take the SAT. So, like, I took it in 8th grade, so I assume it's gonna be like that. start coming up with idea. You can do this in ninth grade too, but I just put it in 10th. But definitely start coming up with college ideas in 10th grade. Like, I had colleges, well, I had one college picked out in ninth grade, but more so started 10th grade. Also, I'm mostly doing this because I graduated early. So you would kind of have to put your 10th and 11th stuff together if you are graduating early, but if not, you have the different years. But I my 10th grade year last year is when I more so started looking into different colleges. You want to have a definite college list by 12th grade. So you have like 2 years, unless you want to have it finalized by 11th, you have 2 years to finish it. Start looking into scholarships because there are some scholarships that you can get as a high school sophomore. You can get some as a junior and a senior. Just make sure you read the fine print, make sure you read the rules, the terms and conditions, because you don't want to sign up and win and you're like, wait, I'm a sophomore, and they're like, oh, well then we're going to take this back and give it to the senior who actually qualified for it. 11th grade, highest classes, clubs, grades. Take your SAT or ACT or both tests. Take them in your 11th grade year. That way you don't have to kind of squeeze it in 12th. Still looking at colleges. Now is when you want to start kind of filtering out the colleges that you want. Also start taking college tours if you can. So far, I haven't seen any college tours on a weekend or over any breaks. And I know my school gives us, I think, 2 college tour days that we can take, as long as we, like, prove that we actually went on a tour and not just, skip school. 11th grade, still scholarships. Make sure they are for high school juniors. 12th grade. Alright, so you're in the end game now. You're in the final stretch. You're almost done. What I would say is over your summer break from 11th grade to 12th grade, finalize your college list. I'm going to go into more detail on that in a minute, but finalize your list of colleges. And a part of the Common App is a college essay. It is, you write one, like, unless you want to do different essays for each application, I think there's a way you can do that. You write one essay, and it's for every college application you put, unless the college requires another one. Okay. Beginning of 12th, like I'd say probably August, September, start getting your teacher recommendations. I would say definitely have at the very least one. Have one teacher and one guidance counselor recommendation. You can ask teachers from your 11th grade or 10th if you're graduating early, like from last year. Ask teachers from last year, or if you feel like, you don't want to ask any of them, after, I guess, after like a month, I guess you can ask teachers from this year, but I don't think it would really do good, because you definitely need to ask teachers. Like, I wouldn't say ask teachers from your favorite subject. So, like, don't go ask your gym teacher, like, hey, can you do my college recommendation? Do a class that you both liked and you did well in. So, like, I asked my English teacher. I did good in her class, and, it's English. You could ask your math teacher, your social studies, science, but I wouldn't say to ask an elective teacher unless you're going to a school for that elective. So, like, if you were going to a theater school, or you were going to major in theater, get your theater teacher to do it. If you're doing any type of computer programming, get your computer programming teacher. But, I mean, the 4 core class teachers should be fine recommendations. Also, do them as early as possible, because apparently some teachers have limits on how many they'll do at one time, which makes sense, because, as a teacher, I don't think I'd want to have to do 20 different recommendations for students. But yeah, have at least one teacher and your guidance counselor do your recommendation. You can have more, but I suggest just getting, one teacher and your guidance counselor. Um, when you finalize your list, look at the deadlines and the requirements for the applications. So there is usually an option for early action applications, which is what I did for Oglethorpe. And that just means that your application will be due by usually sometime in November. So like November 1st, November 20th, sometime in November before Thanksgiving. That's when they do early action. You can do regular, but I wanted mine kind of early just because I really wanted to know. The required look through because back to the teacher recommendations, sometimes they want more than one. So like they'll want two recommendations or like two recommendations from a teacher and one from a guidance counselor, but just make sure. I know for a definite the things you most need to have are your teacher recommendations, your transcript from at the moment. You give them your transcript at the end of the year too. But a transcript, the application, obviously, essays, and SAT scores. You can also send in, like if you're doing an AP class, you can send them in your AP test scores too. Sign up for the Common App. That way you can actually do the applications because they have all the schools in one place. And the good thing about the Common App is it tells you what things are required and when the applications are due. So like my schools that I signed up for were Oglethorpe, Clark Atlanta University, Georgia State University, and Georgia Tech. So on the side it would put the college names and then you press it and it would show, okay, so you've done this, this, and this for your application. You still need to do the essay portion, or you still need to do your SAT scores, or you still need to do this. And okay, I don't really like if you have already taken your SAT or ACT scores, you can put them on there, but because I didn't, I just put like not available yet, but I am registered to take it. And once you've submitted your application, the school will usually send you an email with a password and everything for you to sign up to see how your application looks, and you send them your test scores and transcripts and things through there. What's next? Complete your FAFSA. You need to don't it's not really my fault that don't have it done yet, but try to get it done as fast as possible because some people, like my brother, have said that like FAFSA is kind of a first come first serve thing, and it opens October 1st every year, always October 1st, and you don't want to wait till like December 17th and suddenly they're like, okay, here's $2 and some change. Because what is $2 and some change gonna do? Please. Send in your documents whenever they need to be due by. Still do highest classes possible, clubs, activities, good grades. Send your transcript in at the end of the year. At the end of the school year, sorry. Still look for scholarships. Most schools, like most colleges, actually have scholarships that either you can apply for or they just give it to you, and sometimes it's a full ride. If it's not a full ride, still be looking into scholarships. Also, if you do plan on doing something like a gap year, make sure you email someone, probably the admissions person at the school, and like just email them and ask them, hey, I'm going to be doing a gap year. Will my scholarship still be available if I do a gap year, or would I have to go to school now? Uh, and then, obviously you're going to start getting your acceptance letters. I got mine on my birthday, but I didn't really go and check it until yesterday. Thank you. Most of the early actions, I think they start giving out decisions by either December or January. I cannot remember because most of the deadlines are in November, and also they have a lot of people. So, yeah, that's the timeline. For colleges, for your college list, I would say, from based off of what I've seen and what I did, have your dream college. Mine was Clark Atlanta. So have your dream college, apply to them. Have two colleges that you're it's not my dream college, but it is still cool. Have at least two of those, and then have one college that you are positive that you can get in. Other things, look out for offers from colleges, like free applications. Okay, most of the thing, like when you do scholarships, you're most likely going to end up using some form of website, like Unigo, Scholarship Owl, scholarships.com, Bold, and sometimes they ask you like, hey, can we share your information with these colleges, and if they want to contact you. It is going to, the amount of emails that you are going to receive will be overwhelming at times, because like you get 50 in one day. But pay attention, especially if they are from colleges that you're willing to go to. Pay attention to the emails, and like they'll send you letters too, because sometimes, like Oglethorpe did, they will send you something like, hey, you're a priority student. If you get your application done by this date, your application will be free. You won't have to send in test scores, and I think it was like you don't have to send in a transcript either. Something. I can't remember all the details. But definitely pay attention. Also, apply for fee waivers. Ask your guidance counselor for fee waivers for the SAT, the ACT, and for college applications, because college applications actually cost money. Just in case you didn't know, because I didn't know it at some point. College applications actually cost money. But definitely pay attention to emails and letters, because you never know. They'll be like, hey, we like you. If you apply, yours is free. Or you don't have to send in your test scores. Or you don't have to do this. Or, if you send your application in by this time, like, we'll have your decision within like a month. Definitely look at those. And also for the schools that you are applying to, because I know a lot of people like me don't really like taking tests. We're not the best at taking tests, but still have to. Check to see if your college is going to require you to take a SAT or ACT, because some schools now are kind of like, you know what? We don't really need those test scores. Like, we already asked them for everything else. We don't really need those. So, and also because of COVID right now, and some people just can't go, definitely check to make sure. Like, I know Clark Atlanta didn't require SAT scores. I don't believe Oglethorpe did either, and it was either Georgia State or Georgia Tech didn't require them yet. I can't really post my timeline of events, but I will obviously put text on the screen. You can write it down, take notes, do your own research, go to TikTok, go to Twitter, Pinterest. Anything helps, because it especially helps when you don't have anybody to tell you or help you. It definitely helps to have any type of information. So follow these, look out for college stuff, and like I said earlier, if you don't need to go to college, then don't. You will save yourself a headache, because like, it just wouldn't make sense for you to know what you want to do you get a degree, but then you end up never really using that degree. Whereas, obviously, if you want to be a lawyer, you got to go to law school. You want to be a doctor or a nurse, medical school. If you have to have it, then yes, go to college. But if your profession doesn't require it, I don't suggest you go to college. Just make sure to also calm down and breathe, because things will get overwhelming, especially if you have anxiety. It will get overwhelming at times, and it's going to feel like nothing's going to go right. But I promise you, if you take your time and have common sense, then it should be okay. And if you don't get accepted into the college of your dreams, it's okay. At least you're getting into college. And just overall, don't have a big panic. I don't think you need to start panicking, because I asked my brother yesterday. You're not really supposed to start panicking until, it's actually time for you to go. Also, if you do get accepted to the college of your dreams, number one, congratulations. And number two, do the financial aid and the housing stuff immediately, because a lot of these colleges with dorms don't have enough space, and the housing is first come first serve. So once you get that acceptance letter and you put the deposit in and you're like, yeah, I'm coming with y'all, do the housing deposit and do your financial aid, secure your housing. Also, be safe if you have roommates, please, because a lot of people in this world are crazy. So that is the end of my video. I really hope that this helps you out, that you are able to go to the college of your dreams, or go to college in general. Share this with anybody that you feel needs this type of help, they don't know what to do. And just overall, have a great day. Like this video, subscribe, follow me on my socials if you haven't already. I try to post stuff now. And yeah, have a great day, and just breathe, have some water, and be safe. Bye.